I think Foster's presentation was probably the most worthwhile 45 minutes that we've invested in our kids. He came in, he got the kids hyped up, and he really delivered kind of the perfect message for 6th through 8th grade students. We do our best. We don't want to shield kids from realities, but we're also, they're still young, they're still impressionable, and so we do want to somewhat protect them from certain types of content, certain types of topics. And we felt like Foster really did a great job delivering a message that was very relevant and very unique to 6th through 8th grade students that taught them the value of embracing their feelings, reaching out to those who care about them. There are people who care about them. Their life does matter. Kids were super pumped up when they left his presentation. He's such a personable guy. He's a guy that kids just naturally, really Friday was the first time that I had met Foster in person, and just seeing the way that he connected with kids, he just a huge impact. And that's so important when kids see someone that they admire, that they can kind of see themselves becoming. That creates a connection that I think has a better effect on creating long-lasting impacts. So it was a great presentation, and we're hoping to really kind of build a partnership for years to come, and just bring him in every year or two to make sure that all of our kids at East Middle are having the opportunity to hear his great message.
What is up? Welcome to the Underwater Fly Zone podcast. Excited to be back. Excited to get into it. Foster is obviously very ready.
Let's go.
He's looking in the mirror as we started. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. It's been a crazy day. I have been booking out the fall tour all day. And guys, it's looking fire, man. It's looking real good.
I'm excited to see how that comes together. Well, while we're talking about the fall tour coming up, let's go over this next upcoming week of events.
Yeah, so tomorrow, which it's too late if you're seeing this on Thursday, it's happening tomorrow in our time. We record these on Mondays. Mm-hmm. It's the Ray Moore Farmers Market. So hopefully you're seeing this and you saw an awesome post and it went great. But what is coming up for you guys this Sunday from 6 to 9 at Lone Jack High School Football Stadium. It's the Kansas City Revival Night. We're doing Young People Love Jesus merch. We'll be there, 25% off, so $30 tees. Come out, guys. It's going to be a good time. It's not one of those events where you come, buy merch, and leave. It's more of a come, buy merch, and hang out for the whole time. It's going to be a whole service, and you don't even have to buy merch. I just want to see y'all come out, man. It's going to be a great event. I personally am not speaking at it. I'm just a vendor at it, but the guy running it, gosh, what a great group of people. It's going to be a good time. And then Monday, we're back at the Raintree Food Trucks from 4:30 to 7:30. And then next week, we actually have Parkville Nutrition. I forgot about that. We do have Parkville Nutrition. I guess you guys will be seeing this. It'll be the day you're seeing the next week's episode, I think. Yeah, it's on July 30th. It's from 9 to 1. Yeah. Parkville Nutrition.
So that's a good shout out because this will come out after that.
Yeah, definitely. So Parkville Nutrition, make sure to go see that one as well. And that's it, though.
Sweet.
Slowing down to end the month.
I got to say, I did not sleep a lot last night because I had to get up so much earlier and I just couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to shake off the rust. I think I can get through an hour with like fake energy. Yeah. But you were talking there. How do you do this? This is not.
I just chill like this.
It starts going up.
I don't know.
But I always watch you. I got to hold at this. Okay.
I don't really put too much pressure on it.
Oh, I'm just a fatty. Anyway, but yeah, I think I'll be good for this energy, but I really started to
Bro's down bad.
Comments of the week.
Okay, let's get it.
I have 3. The first one is from Elitit.
Wait, what?
It was like Elliot, but an extra T.
Okay.
Ellitot.
Okay.
And I didn't think about how that sounded until I said it out loud. He said Foster for the win.
Let's go.
And this was, I think all of these comments were on Spotify because I wanted to see, I can see those publicly. I did confirm that.
Yeah.
So he said Foster for the win on that time of day draft, which was sick.
Let's go.
Then I went back because, again, I hadn't checked Spotify. We did the blind ranking for ice cream flavors.
Uh-huh.
First of all, you are not a big people are not fans of your mint chocolate chip. My mom wasn't a fan.
I know.
Which we talked about. But then both Bleeds commented. McKenna Bleed commented, Foster hating on mint chocolate chip is insane all caps. And
I didn't see that comment. Come on,
Jay
McKenna,
says mint equals 1. So I saw 3 comments about that ice cream draft, and all of them were about mint chocolate chip being higher.
I'm not going to lie. I've never had it. I just don't think I ever will have it.
Because you're just not a mint fan?
Yeah,
I think mint's a really polarizing flavor, and I'm now at the part of my life where I'm starting to like it. Because I used to be like, I don't think I disliked it as much as you, but like I was like, mince whatever.
I mean, how much do I really dislike it if I've never had it? It's kind of like
You've never had a mint flavored thing?
Besides like toothpaste, nah.
That makes your stance so much crazier
I know.
because you were like, I don't like
guys.
mint, and then I said, what do you have for toothpaste? You said probably mint. So your one exposure to it is like consistent.
I don't know. I just always feel like it'd be like eating toothpaste. I might be off. Maybe I should try it.
I think we got to go get ice cream. I'll get a mint flavored thing and let you try it.
Oh my
that way
goodness.
you're not committed to it.
Okay. I like him cringing about the thought of that, but
that's crazy.
I might be off. I might be way off. Maybe you guys are right. I might be missing out.
I think we got to try it.
Okay,
But-
hold that off for a long time. I need to mentally prepare. Keep that for like
No, you got
the
to dive
start
right.
of next
Got to
summer.
dive right in with both feet.
Oh goodness! If that happens next week, I'm probably chickening out. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Do you want to know for the game? We'll go into that so you
Okay.
can. I have a good name, and then I have my first idea of a name that's not a good name but way funnier. Which one do you want to know?
I want the funnier one.
The game is called Gonna Is Was.
Gonna is okay.
The real name, if we ever do it again, is called Prime Time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Prime
list
time,
something,
Gonna is what?
and the Gonna Is Was is actually more accurate to what you need.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a thing, and you're gonna say whether it is gonna hit its prime, is in its prime, or was in its prime.
Okay.
Hence the name.
Yep.
Gonna is was.
I like
You
that.
see?
I like that.
You see, so I'm
We'll
gonna
call it Gonna is was.
that's
that
kind of
sounds
it's
way
kind
better.
of it's kind of now that you know it.
Yeah.
Prime
Yeah.
time is like
Uh-huh.
So the first one we're gonna start with is pickleball. Is that gonna, is, or was?
It is. It's
would-
in its prime right now.
I would
for
agree.
Sure. And you know what? The prime is gonna last a while. I think it's gonna maybe last a very long, like our whole life.
I think it is becoming a different. It's like golf, where like you can play that until you're like way into your senior, but can also like as a 24-year-old, it's not the most active sport I play, but like if I play with a competitive group, like I'm also still getting a pretty good workout.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's got so much staying power. And it's a very low barrier for entry. You need a cheap paddle and a ball. Like you can start playing for like $10.
For sure. I think that's what it is. And it's also, I personally love pickleball because you go to a rec park, like we go to rec park and play. And we see, first of all, we see people we know all the time up there. Shout out to anybody that might be watching. But turn on the lights at rec park, play whenever the sun's down. It's not so hot. And it's not that deep, It's really not that deep at all.
Yeah.
And I think that is really beneficial for competitive people. Like I could get competitive and whatnot. And so I think that just going out and just messing around and like, there's other people that are very good at pickleball where it's almost like hard to even play with them, such as Spencer Harris. Very goated at pickleball. We played one time and I was like, gosh, I suck. I thought I was good. I suck compared to this guy. But I will say that even competitive, like highly skilled players, you could still tone it back if you want to just go chill,
We've had a group that started playing on Wednesdays for the last like month or so.
Yeah.
And no one there is like bad at pickleball, but there's definitely varying levels, and it's still so much fun.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
No, I've liked playing like when I'm in pickleball leagues. Sometimes if I haven't played in a while, the guy like forgets who I am and puts me on a court of people that are like just hadn't played as much or they're older and can't move as well, but I still have a good time. But then I play against people who are significantly better than me, and I enjoy that too. And so
I thought I was very good at pickleball until we played. I don't know.
Well,
if
you
knew
should
that.
play Drew and Jace as well, and Hudson.
Yeah.
That very good group, very fun group. But okay, next thing, I'll be interested to see your take on this one. Movie theaters. Is that gonna, is, or was?
I'm gonna unfortunately say was, because the Belton movie theater just turned into a church. It's not a thing anymore. And then I personally never really, I think I have ADHD. Like I could probably go get diagnosed with it if I really wanted to. And I just can't sit for a movie. My dad tells me, oh, that's nonsense. You could sit for a movie. I promise you, it's hard for me to focus on a movie for that long. And I think with not everyone, but with so many people's attention spans shortening, it's just going to be tough. You know what I'm saying?
I also think the fight against streaming services is huge. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
So many movies are so accessible.
Yeah.
And movie theaters have just gotten more expensive. I still love a movie theater.
Oh, I do
I'm
too.
going
I
with
love
my
it.
dad next week to see the Odyssey in IMAX. I love getting a big tub of popcorn. Like, I really enjoy the movie theater, but I agree that it's more expensive and less accessible than a streaming service. Like, you pay for a month of a streaming service, and that's a movie, and you can watch 10 movies a day.
It's sad to say, whenever our kids are our age, like will there even be movie theaters? There might be one or two big time ones. I mean, there definitely will be one or two big time ones, but the little ones, I mean, are they going to make it?
I think movie theaters for our kids will be like malls for us. Like
Yeah,
we were,
that's a
the
great-
generation before us, like went and hung out at the mall.
Yeah.
Ours, like we had it. Like I still like we was caught the tail end of it, and I
Yeah.
think our kids might caught like malls exist, but they're not really as popular anymore.
Mhm.
I think to me the same thing. Where like you said, the big ones will still be able to stay there, but not.
That's
the
a
ones
great
out there.
comparison. Did you think about that before? Or was
Not
that,
at all.
That
Thought of
was
it in
off
the
the
moment.
top of the head.
I'm just
wow,
like that.
That was good. That was a great pull.
Oh, this desk was just slightly too far from me. Okay, next one. We're gonna go with fast food.
Fast food.
Gonna is or was.
I personally, for me personally, it's was, and I'm gonna even say for the majority of people, it's probably was.
This is one that I didn't know. Like
Yeah.
I struggled between. It's definitely is or was. Like
Because I
it's
was
not.
about to say it might be is because people want to pay less for food and get it quicker. So maybe it's is, but for me it's was. I just can't do fast food, especially with my wife Macy. The ingredients aren't going to cut
Absolutely.
it for her.
And that's and so that's where I went back and forth. I think it's is because DoorDash is so popular for
Yeah.
people that need that. Although I try not to do that because it's so it is like double the cost of the exact same thing.
Exactly.
But there are times where DoorDash is really nice.
yeah.
So a lot of people do that. A lot of people have to buy lunch for work, and then the convenience of it. You don't have to cook, and it's not that much more expensive than groceries anymore. But
Yeah.
I think the reason is more people, and maybe it's just the people around, but more people are conscious about what they're eating for that same reason. Like that's a big thing that stops me is I really crave the fast food.
Yeah.
It is just as good as it's ever been for me, but it was as appealing.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that
of
makes sense.
because of the health of it, the fattiness. Like at work, I try and not buy lunch at work more than once a week. Like, and a lot of times it's zero,
Mm-hmm.
and that's different than how I would have looked at it 2 years ago. And so I would agree with was, but I think for a lot of people it's is still.
Yeah. No, I'm down with that answer. I agree.
I
It's
think it's-
definitely not gonna. It's
Yeah.
definitely not
Like
gonna
if you're
happen.
looking at the bell curve,
Yeah.
it's not at the top middle, but it's not like way to the was. Like
Now-
if it's past is, it's just barely.
Chick-fil-A is on the up. I looked at their business numbers and oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
they are on.
There
the
are some that
up.
are still like on the, but like McDonald's,
Yeah.
I don't know if their numbers reflect it, but I feel like it's less of like a cultural phenomenon. But then there's
I
places like
agree.
Hawaiian Bros is like relatively new, like last 5-10 years, and it's
Yeah.
doing really well.
Well, then you got like Culver's. They're always having a line out the door.
But then you got like other places that are going downhill, and
Yeah.
and so it is kind of all over the place because it's such a big category.
For sure. And before we get into the next question, make sure to go drop a comment for your answers as well.
Absolutely.
And also, I just randomly want to say new shipping code.
Yeah.
I just thought of it while we were sitting, just
Okay.
randomly. While IWL 25. We're going back to last year's code, guys. While IWL 25. I want to do it earlier in the episode this
Yeah.
week. Might as well.
Okay.
I knew you were gonna do it at some point though. He was gonna.
I did have it ready at the end of this game.
Really?
I'm still gonna throw it to you as a reminder of
okay.
it. 'cause I didn't have it
Okay.
ready.
Cool.
I'm gonna say this is an interesting one. Fidget spinners.
I'm gonna say was,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that type of stuff is around. Like fidget spinners open the door for the little things with like the bubbles or the
Fidget
holes. and-
cubes.
yes, and you know those. It's like
Oh,
a
Pop
sheet
It.
of
Pop It.
the pop it things. Those were all around when I taught elementary PE. All the kids had those, especially the kids that literally needed it for attention and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are here to stay. And the fidget spinner, I feel like, was the door opener for that type of stuff.
So this one, and I'm actually gonna say the next category at the same time because my answer is the same for them. Podcasts. I
Ooh.
think it is gonna and was for both of them.
Okay.
So let me explain. Fidget spinners were a thing a decade ago. Like that, they were at their peak when I was in 8th grade, freshman year, something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That was a decade ago.
That is nuts.
Um,
That is
that was when
wild.
fidget spinners were in its prime.
Yeah.
But the reason I say gonna is for the same reason you said, where it opened the door to other similar things, where I almost think we might get back to basically fidget spinners
Yeah.
because fidgeting and being aware of that and talking about that. Like, I'm a big fidgeter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes up. I pop my knuckles on the mic. I'm always, my hands are down here. I'm usually either spinning or like fidgeting with my ring.
Yeah, I'm always messing with this cord. I
like,
don't know if you
like I'm a
know.
huge fidgeter, and it's not like a me thing. Like, it's a lot of people. So I think
Yeah.
was because fidget spinner is what we think of it a decade ago.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
out of strong popularity 8 years ago.
Yeah,
But gonna, because I think it's going to come back. And I think podcasts are the same. Podcasts came on the scene 15 years ago.
yeah,
It was a thing. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, podcast stands for iPod broadcast because it was made for like
Wow.
radio broadcast on iPods 15 years ago. And so obviously at its peak, I would say again, like 10 years ago was the time to like get in on a podcast.
yeah.
Like even when you started, it was like everyone had a pod. When we both started our first one,
Yeah.
everyone had a podcast.
For sure.
And I think that's still the case. And that's why it was,
Yeah,
but it is because it's obviously popular. But I think gonna, because I think it's changing what a podcast is to get a brand.
yeah,
Before it was just post the podcast every week and you were okay. I think the gonna is it's becoming a brand like what you already have. Like you're building it in reverse now, where obviously the podcast started it, but the podcast now is like the smallest by far leg of it, and the goal
Yeah.
is for it to grow.
yeah,
But most people, I think you want to start, they'll have to start the podcast, but then build a brand around it. Like I did it last year with Sunday Driving, where I started doing blogs and writing those. And you have to do something like that where you have the podcast and then,
yeah.
and I think that's the gonna where the creativity, and I don't even know where it could go, but I think in the future, people will be having those.
For sure. I think that for podcast, the old way of doing a podcast is was.
Yes.
Because the old way was you get on Instagram and you see some of the dumbest clips
Yeah.
from some podcasts, and it was like, wow, anybody could have a podcast. Everybody has a podcast,
Yeah.
you know, and that was kind of the flack I got starting this a little bit was, oh, you're starting a podcast. Everybody has a podcast, you
Yeah.
know. And I even look at some of my old clips and I'm like, ugh, that's cringy. That was horrible advice. Or I sounded so dumb there, you know, like there was, and obviously have to go through that to get to where we are today. But that's part of the reason I took a step back from doing the podcast for a while was because I listened to my advice and I'm like, what is this based on? I had very little life experience. The stuff I'm saying, I wasn't even living out.
Yeah.
What the heck am I talking about?
Yeah.
That's why I want to bring it back now, because I feel like, you know what? I feel like today I'm someone that people could actually listen to and gain something from, which we can gain something from every single person. You could gain something from me back when I just started this thing, but it actually has some more of a foundation and some more, I guess, merit to it now.
Yeah.
Because back then I was just a kid in college, you know?
To be fair though, in 5-10 years, you're going to look back at yourself now and say, I didn't know what I was talking
100%.
about. You're like, oh, I
100%.
hadn't gone through parenthood. I hadn't gone through this. I hadn't gone through that.
That is true.
So I think that's also part of it is going in with an open mind. Because I agree. Like if I go back to the ones I recorded in the winter of 2020, where I was through a first semester of college, like I didn't know that much, but that doesn't take away, like
That is true.
nobody knows what they don't know yet. And they only know what they do. Like
Yeah.
even the smartest people are going to be smarter tomorrow than they are today.
I will say, though, there are just some podcast clips where I'm like, we should find a way to
Absolutely. No,
limit.
I agree. That's not that's also not
Yeah.
an excuse.
And just for me, I just saw myself talking. I'm like, man, I don't know. I think I got tired of hearing myself talk. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really, like, you guys might not know this about me, but I'm really not that extroverted. Like, I'm more of an introvert, honestly.
Absolutely.
And so to hear myself talk all the time, I edited a podcast clip and posted for 6 months in a row at one point. It was like the summer, like graduating college, going into my first year teaching. I dropped a podcast clip on Instagram every day for, I think it was at least 4 months. And we were doing it pretty consistently for 6 to 8 months. And that's what grew us from a couple hundred followers to 6,000.
Yeah.
And then I just got tired of hearing myself talk. It was just annoying. I
It's
found
tough.
myself annoying. So I was like, I'm just going to stop and wait.
Well,
And
I
then it
don't
is what
know
it
the
is.
science of it, but they say that the voice you hear when you talk is not what your voice sounds like.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
almost everyone struggles hearing a recording of their voice. Like I
Yeah.
hate it. I also still don't like it. And it's funny because both of it, that's coming from two people who have heard their voice on recording
Every
or like
week.
into a speaker
Yeah.
a lot through
Yeah.
their life. Like this podcast, I've done other podcasts. I've just been on places. Like, yeah, it's hard though.
Yeah,
It's hard to hear your own voice.
definitely. But I think podcasting does have a bright future. It is gonna. I agree with you. It is gonna in a lot of ways. And I like the way that we do this now, because it used to be you listen to the podcast, the Underwater Fly Zone podcast specifically. You listen to it because I'm giving advice and I'm giving this and that. That's all great. I'll probably still do that from time to time.
Yeah.
But I like how informal this is. And I was just talking to Macy about this the other day. I feel like every conversation I have ever, 24/7, is a very deep, intense, like business type or personal life or helping somebody through. It's always like so serious. And this actually has been somewhat difficult for me to have our conversations at times, because I'm like, wow, I have to tap into like my fun side again,
Yeah.
which I feel like during the week, at least Monday through Friday, I don't really get that a lot. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I think this has been great. I want to keep it going.
I've liked it because it's just an outlet like to
Yeah.
talk. But
Yeah.
what I do, I think I told you this last week, I want to have those deep conversation episodes still.
Oh yeah,
But
for
one,
sure.
I know that's not, like, the idea of this is not to have those a ton.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's not going to be something that happens often, but I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of, I'm going to do the last Gunna is was.
Okay.
Underwater Fly Zone and Your Life is Worth Living as a brand. Gunna is or was.
I 1,000,000% believe this. It's all the way gonna. I feel like we haven't even started. Like everything that we've done, in my opinion, has been testing what works, what doesn't, what do I enjoy? Not even what do I enjoy, but what is worth the work.
Yeah.
You know, is dropping sweat sets worth the work? That was a miss. You know,
Yeah.
that was a miss.
Yeah.
What about the lightning tees? They were all right. What about the young people of Jesus? Okay.
Yeah.
There's something that people love.
That has staying power.
Yes. I don't know. I feel like this whole time we've been building the foundation. The podcast, for example, is it something I want to do long term? Yes, but how? You know, like it's been just finding out what works, finding out what people truly resonate with, what they truly feel impacts them, and you know, what pop-up events should I do, should I not do? What speaking gigs should I do, should I not do? How can I do this as a full-time career? It's all been building the foundation, and I feel like I've gotten to the point a couple times where I thought the foundation is built, now we can build upon it, you know?
Yeah.
But then today, just sitting back here, I thought about this today. We're still building the foundation.
Reworking the foundation.
Yes,
At all times.
I think that at least for this fall stretch, all these events right now, is going to be another stretch of building the foundation. I don't think we're even started yet. I genuinely feel like we haven't even started yet.
I feel like you're always going to be able to find a new ceiling that you feel like you can see to
Yeah.
reach, and seeing that new ceiling changes what the floor has to be. Like you
Yeah.
have to rework, because a year ago you knew the speaking events were like an important part of this, but before this last spring tour, you did not. I don't feel like I heard you see the potential that you now feel like it could have.
Yeah.
So when you see that after the spring event, that changes where you're shooting, and that changes what you need to get there.
Yeah.
And so that's
for
always going
sure.
to happen, is if you have another 2 successful semesters, and that ceiling goes from, I don't know how many you do, 20 a semester, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I could do 50.
Yeah.
But then you have to have the infrastructure to everything else still works while you're doing 50 speaking events in 5 months. And so I think that the foundation always has to change if you want to continue to grow as well.
Definitely. I don't know. I think that for you guys watching, I would be just keep getting excited, because I think there's so much more to come. There's way bigger mountains to climb. And I feel like we've already climbed some big mountains. We've already done some great things. And
Absolutely.
every time an event ends, I really don't reflect back on it too much, because normally it's on to the next one. But one thing I always feel after an event ends is, gosh, this is just one more thing that I can add to my life experience list, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all writing our life story right now. Every decision you make, every experience you have is a page in your book that is your life story. And I just remember after the Marshall event, Marshall High School, shout out, that was the one me and Carson talked about last week. Carson got to go with me. And I remember it was 2 sides of the school filled with students. Carson was my camera guy, which is just so awesome when that happens. And it was amazing. It was a picture perfect event. And on the drive home, we were already having to think about the next one, but I was just like, gosh, no one can take that from me.
Yeah.
No one can take that memory, that experience. That's something I have forever, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful for all those. And sorry for just yapping, but one more would be the day where I got to speak to both middle schools, South Middle School and East Middle School. We recorded a podcast like the night before. Do you remember that? Or like the day that week?
Because you were going to those two, and then I think the high school the day after, or something like that.
It was Archie the day before.
That's right.
And then
I remember you
schools.
had like 3 events. 2 were those.
And Archie was amazing too. I just booked them again today. But anyways, the middle schools, dude, I'll never forget that day. You know, speaking in the school building that I attended middle school in, and then speaking in the building where I found out about the news that Kyle passed away. I was just like, wow, it's just a surreal experience. And no matter what happens, I'll never be able to forget. Like, that's a memory, that's an experience that I'll hold forever. So
Absolutely.
I don't know. I thought that was,
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got on that rant, but there you go.
Talking about where the brain can go.
Yeah. So like where we've already been has been just indescribable. I just feel like there's so much more to come. I cannot wait to see what all happens.
I think that's a good place to end the game.
Yeah, that was
I think we can switch the camera around and then we'll go into the main
let's do
portion
it.
of this.
All right, we're good.
Okay. So, the main portion of this podcast, the reason I've got the pink sign on, I want to talk about the love languages. Are you familiar with these?
Yeah,
the 5
it's
love
like
languages.
acts of kindness or something.
I know which one you're going for.
Okay,
Let's see.
hear it.
Let's see how many you know.
Acts of service.
There it is.
Like physical touch or something.
Okay.
That's about all I got, bro.
Okay, those are 2 of them.
Okay.
Then receiving gifts.
Okay.
Or just gift giving.
So is it giving or receiving? Like if someone...
Well, I'll cover that.
Okay.
Then quality time, then words of affirmation.
Okay.
These love languages, most people, you have a love language that you receive love in and one that you show love in. So that's why gift giving, it's like if you receive it, you like people giving you gifts. If you show it, you like giving people gifts.
Yeah.
And it's also not exclusive to romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Like the love language on it typically, honestly, goes outside of that. And I think that that's a good place to stay as well. Like not everyone necessarily has a long-term relationship. Not everyone, me and my wife, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's a part of it, but pretty much everyone's going to have friends and has a way that they show their affection.
Everybody's got somebody they love.
Yeah. So easiest place to start it, which ones do you show and receive?
Run it back. Run through the list.
Words of affirmation. If you need a description what any of these need.
Describe all of them.
words of affirmation, that is like vocalizing your love. That's me telling you, hey, I appreciate you because of this.
Yeah.
I like you telling me, hey, thank you for doing this.
Okay.
Quality time, that's just being together. Not doing anything specific, but literally just being together.
Yeah.
Receiving or gift giving or receiving gifts, obviously. Acts of service. This is the way my dad shows love. Before me and my sister would drive back to college, or we would drive a few hours, he'd check our oil, check our air tire pressure. That's an act of service.
Yeah.
And then physical touch, that's obvious. Holding hands.
Yeah.
Just like you sit on the couch and it's like you just have a hand on their leg or whatever.
Well, let's clear one thing up. I'm a Huggins, right? It's in the name. I'm a hugger, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that physical touch gotta be one of them. But my main number one, at least for it might be giving and receiving actually, is acts of service. I'm kind of with your dad on that one because, you know, it's one thing to tell me, love you, bro, but I mean, I appreciate that. You know, I would say that's also important, but I would say that if you don't show me that with your actions, it's kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But I would say that for me as well, if I love somebody, I'm going to show my love through actions as well. So like for me and Macy, one thing that I always try to show her my love is it's like, hey, Macy, you know, I'm going to do this roofing job, even though I hate it, but I'm going to do it because I love you and I know what you want and what we want. And I know this can provide for us. Like that leaving teaching was almost an act of love, you know what I'm saying? In itself, because I was like, I'm going to leave this because I know the future we want together. And so I'm going to
This
take
is
that
how we
action.
get there.
That's just like the first thing coming to my mind. I'm sure there's way better examples than that. But
And I mean, most people show multiple of these, if not all of them in some way. Like it's not you have this one and don't have the others.
yeah.
It's almost rare that people don't show at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
But pretty much everyone has a predominant one.
I would say gift giving is probably my like last one.
Yeah.
Like I don't when I get a gift, I'm so grateful, but it's not like an act of love. Like I almost feel like guilty for getting a gift half the time.
I am conflicted with gift giving.
Yeah.
I really appreciate when someone gives a gift that shows that they paid attention.
Yeah.
When I'm like, it's not just a gift. I always appreciate a gift, but especially one where it's like, oh, I said something offhandedly 4 months ago about that. Like I told
Ooh.
McKenna in August, oh man, I'd like some house slippers, and then for Christmas I got them. Like that type of thing.
That's a good point.
And so those kind of gifts I really appreciate. But just in general, someone taking the time to like give me, I like giving it, but I like showing it. I'll talk about mine because
Okay.
I made up a sixth one that I think is
Oh,
more
gosh.
mine
Okay.
than any of the others, and it kind of encompasses all of them. Is sort of its own, but it's effort, and it is the way I prefer to show it and receive love.
Mhm.
It also I think burns me out faster than any of the other will
Yeah.
because I feel like in a friendship or relationship, I see where I'm not giving effort. And it burns me out and I feel like I'm trying to make up for it, but then I see where I'm dropping it here and going other places. But that effort is so different to all the places. For the podcast, my effort right now is planning this, showing up and recording it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm paying attention to is my lack of like, I haven't been making the reels. And and that is, even if you don't think it to
Yeah.
me, that is reflecting, okay, I have more love to give because I have more effort that I can
That
give in
makes
that
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel guilty when I'm not, and I see those gaps of effort. And then, but with other people, it's also effort to show them appreciation in the way that they want, which is kind of where it encompasses the other ones because McKenna, honestly, I don't really know which one is her love language because it kind of changes and it really does touch all of them. But if she's in a moment where maybe she's, and this isn't right now, but she's not feeling a lot of confidence, that's where she needs words of affirmation. So I'm going to put in the effort to be very conscious about saying the so many great things that I already think, but I'm having the effort to like vocalize them.
Yeah.
Or I have a friend who that I know that they need to save money. And so I'm going to put in the effort to say, hey, I know how to change oil in a car. If you buy this stuff, I'll change your oil for you because it saves them half the money.
Yeah.
And I'm just putting in the effort to do it, that kind of thing. And so I appreciate when people put an effort to me. And honestly, I don't care too much about the results of a thing. Like if someone puts in the effort to think about a gift I would like to give, I don't really care about how expensive it was or the quality or anything like that because they put in the effort to give me a gift, especially when they don't have to.
Yeah.
So I feel like effort is more mine than any of the other five.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty relatable for me as well. This has always been a conversation I've like not really, I've never really had it, because me and Macy would talk about it when we first started dating. What's your love language? And I'm
Right.
like, girl, you're speaking Chinese to me. I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So the more I think about it, the more I think, I'm probably a little bit of all of it. There's probably a little bit of everything,
Right.
because I really can't just choose just one. Because I talked about, I left teaching to do roofing, and that was like an act of love for Macy. But then again, it's like, is that the way she wants to be loved? Because she, at the end of the day, I don't know if she even really cared. Like she's just happy. She'd be happy if we were living in a car right now,
Yeah.
like as long as we have each other, like that's like the number one thing. I'm fulfilled, and I'm, my love is the same whether we're in a house, in a car, wherever we're at. As long as I have Macy, I have everything I need. That's kind of my philosophy, and I know she's the same way. So I just think, maybe I'm off. Maybe I should think about this more. I don't know.
I think that's the interesting part about love languages is everyone gives and receives love in a specific way, but also has to understand. So let's say, you are an acts of service. That's how you show it and receive love.
I would say that's probably the most accurate.
Let's
yeah.
say I'm words of affirmation for both. I have to understand that I want you to tell me that you appreciate me.
Yeah.
And I want you to put in the effort to know that I want that.
Yeah.
But I also have to understand that when you do an act of service to me, that is you showing your love.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
you
fair.
and then vice versa.
Mhm.
You want me to put the dishes away from the dishwasher because that's an act of service.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and do those things for you. But then you also understand the default is when I tell you thank you or I appreciate you, that is me showing my love. And so understanding, Macy, I know the relationship you guys have, even if she didn't need you to do that, she knows and understands that that's what you were doing. And I
Yeah.
think that's an important part. And the deepest relationships understand that.
Yeah.
Not just that I'm not going to receive love and affection or whatever in the way that I'm expecting, but I know specifically the way you show it. And it's really easy for me to tell when you are giving me that love.
So let me ask you this. I see videos all the time where they're saying, you know, we've been married for 15 years and we've had to fight for this. You know, we've had to fight to be. And I think, I'm sure that's great. I'm glad they stayed married for 15 years, but I'm like, I've never had to fight. I don't know. It just has felt, with me and Macy, it's ever since I met her, like the first day I met her, I told her, I think we're going to get married. Like, and it happened. And we've had hard times. Everybody has hard times, obviously. But since we've been married, everyone's like, oh, that first year of marriage is tough. I just don't agree. I had a great first year.
There's just an amount of like intention that goes behind it.
Yeah.
That I think your perspective changes how you view those hard times.
Yeah.
Like when me and McKenna have had, and disagreements is even a strong word, but weren't thinking the same. It's easy to like shut down and be like, oh, you're disagreeing with me. But my mindset is always like, she has no ill will towards me.
Exactly.
We just thought of it differently.
Exactly.
And then we're going to find a way to like agree.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to talk. Like it's not hard if you go at it with the right mindset. And
Yeah.
some of it is personality and some of it is just people with probably the wrong fit. Some
Yeah.
people are just more stubborn. They could have the absolute perfect match and they're still going to have a hard time because they don't know how to back down.
Yeah.
That might be true for some people. But I think a majority of it is you and your partner not necessarily are wrong for each other, but aren't putting in the effort in the way that both of you deserve.
Yeah.
I put in the effort. McKenna deserves for me to be understanding to her. And I don't agree because I'm not a huge fan of myself, but like I deserve her to do the same back at me. Like I deserve her to understand where I'm coming from. She deserves me to understand. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Cause it's something as simple like today, we were figuring out what we were going to eat for food this week because I'm going grocery shopping or she's going to, whatever. We're getting groceries. And Friday I threw it a thing and she wasn't really feeling it. It's like, oh, why? Here's why I like it. And she's like, here's why. Okay, let's think of something else. And that's whatever. Because I didn't think I was going to make these burger sliders. I didn't think that she hated my burger sliders.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people be like, why don't you like my cooking? And that's just not what it was. It's just so much simpler than that.
Yeah. I agree. I think not even we, but I think people can overcomplicate
Absolutely.
things at times. It's just feel like me and Macy, it's never been that deep, you know, but it is like as deep as it can go when it comes to like loving each other and whatnot. But like, it's just not that deep when it comes to disagreements. It's like, hey, at the end of the day, like, is it that big of a deal?
I also think there's a certain amount of effort, and not in a bad. I also think people, when they're like, "Oh, you have to put an effort, you have to try for a relationship," that doesn't mean a bad thing.
Yeah,
but there's
that's
just an intentionality behind. Like you guys have had so many years that whether you've done it on purpose or not, you have learned how to communicate even better.
Yeah.
And so, no matter how, like you said, day one, you're like, we're gonna get married. You still are in a better place in a relationship now just because you've had so many years and so much
Yeah.
time together. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so there's some of that as well as kind of letting it grow together. Me and McKenna have been together since we were freshmen in high school. Like we
Yep.
became the adults we are together.
yeah.
And so part of that was kind of forming who we wanted to be because we were
Uh-huh.
together. And so that's part of it as well. You guys weren't quite as young, but you still started dating at such a young age that I think that helps as well as your personalities were somewhat formed with the idea of the togetherness.
You probably have this too, but are you ever just with McKenna and you could just tell by like her energy that it's like, okay, it's time to go, or like she's done, she's ready to go to bed or something like that?
We
or,
also have cues, but yes, McKenna says that I know her better than she knows herself, and I don't think that's entirely wrong.
yeah,
But yes, I can read her energy really well.
yeah,
And she can read mine, but we also have hand signals, eye signals, not just for like energies down. That happens a lot. Mine happens really suddenly. Hers I can like see going down like a normal person.
yeah,
Mine, it's within like 5 minutes. I go from like, whoa, I'm so excited to like, I need to get out of here. Like I'm so drained.
yeah.
So I think it's harder for her to read me because it's so sudden. But we also have a look for like when we're with family or friends and it's like, we need to talk about this later when it's just us. Like we need a debrief.
yeah,
We have one of like a look at each other.
uh-huh.
So there's stuff like that as well.
I love when like we'll be at an event or something and this this doesn't happen often, but if someone's talking to me and it's just kind of annoying me, and Macy can tell, and she'll just hop in
Yeah.
and like take it over. And then, because she's really good about, you know, if we're at an event and there's 10 people in the booth and there's just one person that's been talking to me for like 25, 30 minutes, she's really good about like, here, let me hop in here.
Yeah.
And so he could go, you know, get back to helping everybody rather than just one singular person.
What I'm really good at is pivoting a conversation before it gets to a place we shouldn't be at.
That is not what I'm very good
Like
at.
when I can make a conversation go, if my grandma says the word Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm saying anything else to get her away from whatever it was. Like it's just kind of I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a similar thing. It's kind of my role. It's like I can make a conversation with anyone, and I can make a conversation of any conversation. We could be talking right now, and in 3 minutes we can be talking about planting corn in a cornfield. And like it might not take me that long to get there. Like I can make that happen.
That you are good at that. My mom said Spencer's very good at keeping you on track because she listens to all the episodes.
Yeah.
Your mom listens to all the episodes. We have probably our 5 or 6 people that have listened to every minute of every episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure our moms, McKenna Bleed,
Jace
maybe
listens to quite a bit.
Jace, maybe McKenna.
Yeah.
Your wife, McKenna.
She doesn't have as much of an like her job.
I was gonna say
doesn't do
Macy
it.
has probably not listened to 2 minutes of it.
She'll
She'll comment on all of them.
McKenna had when she had a longer drive to work, it was easier. But now her drive's like maybe 15 minutes, whereas
Yeah.
before it was 35.
Yeah.
So she tries to, but her job doesn't lend it as much as other people's. But
Yeah, that's how Macy is. Like she's either driving to work and she doesn't listen to podcasts or anything, and
Yeah.
gets there and she doesn't have time at work to listen. And she comes, like, I don't know, she just doesn't.
yeah,
But anyways, our people that listen, my mom, she always says Spencer does a great job at keeping you on track, keeping the conversation flowing. I don't know.
well,
I made a good choice making you host. I'll
think
take credit
my
for your
my
success.
parents at a very young age, like 4 or 5 years old,
Yeah.
they taught me how to talk to an adult. So for 20 years, I've learned how to have an adult conversation.
How did they do that?
They told me a few things. It's really easy to have a good conversation with another human being.
Yeah.
Eye contact, not
Yeah.
like constant,
Yeah.
but just making some. And that has actually gotten harder for me as I've gotten older. I think as I've become more of a fidgeter, my eyes like go all over the place. But just don't have a conversation like this
yeah.
and then talk the whole time. Oh yeah, how are you? No, just make eye contact, nod a little, make it clear you're listening.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Did you ever watch The Office?
Yes. A little bit.
There was an episode where they were teaching Dwight how to sell to a woman. Do you remember that scene?
I see. I've watched it, but I
So
wasn't like Office.
All the women in the
fanatic.
office got him in, and basically had the conversation we're having now. They're
Yeah.
like, "Here's how you talk to a woman," and they were like, "Have eye contact, have a little bit of a smile, nod your head." But then he was like this, and like took it out of context.
Yeah.
But that scene kind of is right. We're like, make eye contact, look engaged, nod, and the thing that is the least natural to me, it's gonna sound bad, is letting people talk.
Yeah.
I've noticed this podcast I'm talking way more than the last few, mostly because I really like the idea of love languages and I've thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
But
and I have not.
a part of a conversation is teeing you up and just letting you take the ball. I
Yeah.
should never finish a sentence in a way. I try not to finish a sentence in a way that doesn't lend something for you to follow up with.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad would pinch my ear, and he didn't have to do it very much. But if we were standing there, because it was my ear was about hand
Yeah.
height form. So if an adult was talking and I was either not making eye contact or doing so, he just not like in a way that hurt.
Uh-huh.
He just grabbed my ear, and it worked. And so since I was a kid, I learned that. And you got to learn small talk, not just, oh, how's the weather?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like now you can be like, oh, the weather's so hot.
Yeah,
If
because
it's
it's
a
legitimately
specific,
something
or
to
like
talk
when it was
about.
raining a ton. Oh, it's been raining a ton.
Yeah.
But if it's just whatever, you know, oh, how's the weather? You find an interest of theirs, you find something, and then just let people like to talk,
Yeah.
whether they admit it or not.
No, for sure. I had a guy the other day ask me. He was a guy that was on the podcast, one of our best episodes of all time. I won't say his name right now, but it was one of our best episodes. And he called me. He's trying to start his own brand, his own thing. And he was like, "Man, there's something about you when we did our podcast. I don't understand how you brought something out of me on that podcast." And he's like, "I don't know how you do it." And I told him, I said, "Well, first of all, I don't think I'm the best at it, but second of all, my philosophy on a podcast is to be the point guard. I don't want to be the one making the dunk. I want to be the one throwing the layup, or the alley oop. I'm trying to throw oops out here to the guests so they could grab it and dunk it. Like that's kind of when I'm hosting a episode, that's kind of my goal is like. Let me now. Granted, the point guard also will score 20 or so. You got to have your content.
Have your games.
Yes, but at the same time, to be able to throw an alley oop and watch your guest just dunk it, and you make a reel out of it, and it gets 100,000 views like that.
This is the playbook.
Incredible.
I am the point guard. You are the star player.
Yes,
I'm gonna have my games where I outscore you.
Yeah,
like Tyrese Halliburton, he's gonna average 12 points a game and 12 assists. But he's going to have a 30-point game.
Yeah.
Still have 8 assists.
Yeah.
I still want you to have a lot of moments, but there are just some episodes going in that I know that I have a lot to say about.
Yeah.
But that's a really good analogy.
That's funny that when we started this, you said you were tired and you're just going to try to get through it. Because I'm over here like yawning and like hitting a wall and you're just
It's
cooking.
all a mask. Dude, that's another thing. That I think is another part of it. And this might not be conversational. And this is totally away from love languages, and I'm totally okay with it. I have a thing called masking. And it is either a trait of people with ADHD or people with autism. I can't remember which one, or maybe both. You talked about getting diagnosed earlier. I could probably get both.
Yeah.
But I do 2 things. One, I like imitate people. That's masking, where like if I spend a weekend with someone who I enjoy the way they tell a story or something, I leave that weekend telling them. I did that, it was 2 weekends ago. I was at my future brother-in-law's bachelor party. His best man, Ethan, super funny. I left that weekend telling stories like him because he was telling stories all weekend. It was very funny.
Yeah.
So I do that, but I can also put on a mask of like an emotion. This also, I think, also partially came from my mental health issues where like I was in a pretty depressive state, but I didn't want people to know. So I can cover that up, and it drains my like internal social battery behind the scenes way faster. But for now, you can't tell. So like right now, I seem really energetic, very conversational. I'm going to be so much more tired than if I just spent the hour normally.
Yeah.
But that's okay because it's for the content.
Yeah, exactly. We got the camera rolling.
Yes.
We got the
And
got the mics on.
I've got the pressure of the lights and the camera and the mic.
Yep.
When those turn off, I'm going to fall asleep on the highway while I'm driving home. And that's just what it is.
Do not make it home.
Okay.
What would we do next week, man? Come on.
Next week would be the easy one. It's after that. Next week is the Memorial podcast. After that gets tough.
Wait, what's next week?
Huh?
Oh,
I'm saying if I fell asleep
okay.
driving home.
See, I'm so out of it. I didn't even catch that. But the Memorial, I was like, wait, it's Memorial Day? That was like, I'm dumb. I'm sorry,
Do
guys.
we have, I think our next theme podcast will be for Labor Day.
If you
September.
want, I mean.
No, I want to do themed ones. I'm going to take this moment to talk to the audience.
Okay, let's do it.
We always talk about reminder to comment, but I'm going to give you some specific prompts. And look how casual I am. Well, I'm just talking to you. Here's a few prompts, so you're not just thinking, oh, they want me to comment. Comment about the game. Talk about your thoughts on them. That's one we've always said. Tell me, do you think fidget spinners are gonna, like I said? Do you think the thing that died in popularity 8 years ago is gonna hit its prime in the future, like I said? Comment. Or tell me I'm dumb, like you did with Foster with the mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, y'all flamed me on there. And
I
loved it.
And I agree with you guys.
Sure.
2, the main topic. Always have your thoughts about that. Love languages. What's yours? How do you show it? How do you receive it? Tell a story about it. If you know one of us, tell a story relating to us. 3, I had one. Oh, I don't remember.
Gosh.
Oh, I had this whole thing I was going into. Oh, timestamps of moments that you thought were really funny.
Yeah.
Or memorable or entertaining. Like comment 47:24, which is not going to be the time that this is at because of those cuts.
Yeah.
But you comment that time and say, I liked when this happened. Specifically, I want you to do those if you notice something that's not a main part. 2 things that Carson sent me from the episode last week one was last week, one was before, that were cracking me up that might not be noticed. One, we did the time of day draft last week.
And I won.
And Foster won. I chose him to win. But then he started going on this stupid rant about how he built a system out of his team, right? So me and Carson both, Foster starts talking, and we both go like this at each other. And it was so fun. And I forgot about it. So did Carson until he rewatched it. if you see that, you go, oh, I loved at 1844 when Carson and Spencer look at each other in a funny way. Or I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were talking about Sub Sandwiches place.
Yeah.
And I kept talking about who had good meat. And every time I said meat, I'd look at the camera. And just like little stuff like that. That's the other thing I want you to comment about. Like treat this like a conversation. This is us talking to you as much or more as it's us talking to each other. And I want that. That's part of why I'm doing the comment of the week. I want to incentivize you guys to do that. But
great pull.
The biggest thing is Foster wants this to be different than what the podcast had been before, and different from the rest of the brand. There is a very important message that is told by this merch that's in this room, by his speaking events, that is huge and important and bigger than Foster is. It is so important and is more important than the podcast. But this is a unique corner of the brand.
For sure.
This is a place, even at an event, you can talk to Foster, but you get a few minutes. If you talk for 25, Macy's going to start talking to you, as he said. It's going to happen.
Unless it's a very good conversation. But if we're talking about your trip to the zoo or something, like, guys, this is but come on.
Unique avenue to foster and a conversation that you won't get other places. And we want to enable that to people. This is not out of a sense of inflated importance, just out of a sense of inflated uniqueness.
Yeah.
That's not the word.
That's fine.
I was going to say unique.
Probably better than I could have done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uniqueness.
Yeah. Unique
that's
New
what I
York.
would've said.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Whoa!
Hey, did you notice I turned this down? Look, did you hear that? And then
Is that different?
do you not? Maybe my ear, my
that's
thing
something-
might be
there's
turned
no
up
mic.
so loud.
There's no mic plugged into that.
I know, but it adds some static, and I turned it down. And I was like,
Well,
I should have did that.
I
40 minutes ago.
haven't heard it at all.
Okay, it might. I have my headphones up very high. I mean, over halfway, I'd say, and then he has his like at a quarter. I don't know. Maybe y'all can hear it. Maybe not. Anyway,
I think we're a little shorter than an hour, like normal.
You want to keep going? 10 more minutes? We could free ball it.
Well, I was gonna say we spent 20 minutes not on the main topic, so
Yeah.
it feels like I feel like this is a good place to go.
That's fair.
Let's talk about how busy you are. I gotta go grocery shopping.
Yep.
Again, reminder of the comment of the week. I do have actually a direct question. If you're here, especially if you're here at this point, let me know if you prefer just us two when we had a guest like Carson did, or a healthy split. Right now, our goal is a healthy split. Probably like a 25-75. 25 guests, 75 us, roughly. But if you're like, wow, having 3 people on was really good, tell us. We will do that more often. If you specifically like Carson, like we said it last week, him and Macy would be the most on anyway. Yeah. But if you really like Carson, let us know, because he liked being on. So we'll have him on even more than we wanted. Like that's another thing to tell us about. Even if I don't ask in this moment. If I never asked this, I would want someone to go, man, Carson being on there was great. Man, I loved having 3 people. Game ideas, topic ideas. Please interact, comment, like, share. Tell people more about it.
Hey, I'll give you my take. I think we should do about at least 50-50.
Okay.
I think last week's episode was the best one.
I think it was really good. I think I really enjoyed it.
And I think
I'll get someone on for next week.
It had a lot to do with Carson, but it also had a lot to do with just having 3 people. Like, Carson definitely said the least amount of words on that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But just having 3 of us, I feel like it was a whole... I mean, we got to have us too at some... Like, it can't be a guest every week.
Yesterday, I played golf with Carson and the Bleeds. And we were talking about and I told them, I was like, you guys should be on at some point. And McKenna was nervous, but one thing I pointed out was...
McKenna, you're getting on here at some point.
The more people you have, the less percentage of a podcast you have to talk about.
Yeah.
When it's you and me, we're going to average out to 50-50.
Yeah.
Carson came on, averaged down to 33. With 4 people, 20. I think more than 4 people gets crowded.
Yeah.
We also only have 4 mics. But
yeah.
I think every time you add a person up to 4 people, it is easier than one less. And if it's you, me, and 2 people, we have to average 25. We know I'm talking more than 25%. Odds are you are, which means theirs goes down even more. And there's a lot less pressure to carry a conversation. When I did a solo podcast, I'm 100%. And that can't change.
Yeah.
In this, it's going to be a 70-30 to 50-50 week to week. Like, that's just how it is between the 2 of us.
Yeah.
But having more people on just gives more opportunity. Like, I can wait until I have a better comment.
Mm-hmm.
Versus now, it's like when you stop, it's like, I guess I gotta go. I hope I got something, and I can figure something out. But
yeah, no, I hope this episode was good. I'm not very, I'm not the love language type of guy, but But I enjoyed the conversation. I feel like there were some things you said that I want to rewatch because you were speaking some facts today. I think this was you definitely added more value than me today.
There's a few topics on here that I know I'm choosing those with the idea of this is more my avenue than Foster's.
Yeah.
The ones we've been doing have been 50-50 or more towards you. Like
Yeah.
I've known that you can contribute. This one, not that I thought you couldn't contribute, but I'm like, I know how much I've thought about it and I can guess how much Foster has.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate you all for watching and or listening to this episode. Please comment.
Yep.
And the free shipping code is
YLIWL25. Going back to last year's code for 1 week.
1 week
1 week
only.
Yep.
Sign up with that, and we will see you all on next week's episode of the Underwater Fly Zone podcast.
Love you guys. Peace.